Hey y'all, and welcome back to today's devotion. We are about to wind up with this little book, but I think I have a backup for what our next one will be. I don't know, I'm praying about it. But anyway, today we're going to be reading 5 Minutes with Jesus, Quiet Time for Your Soul by Sheila Walsh with Sherry Craig. And y'all, whoo, this Southern girl's got to say a Spanish name. I've done the Google pronunciation. I've tried to write down the best way, but y'all please don't judge. Right out the gates, I gotta say this name. But anyway, today's devotion comes from page 25. The title is The 34th Minor. So let me just get this name out of the way, and we're just gonna see how God's gonna talk to us. Lord, help me with my pronunciation. Jorge Gallegos never slowed his work deep beneath the surface of the earth as the mine creaked and cracked all around him. But at one point, he looked up to see what looked like a white butterfly fluttering diagonally toward the cavern floor. Just moments before the steel buckled and snapped and stone crashed down with a deafening roar. That image, the wisp of the delicate white, stuck with Jorge. How could he forget it? In his culture, the appearance of a white animal meant God was very near. The nearness of God was indeed the light in the blackest midnight for Jorge and other miners as they prayerfully awaited rescue. When the miracle of that moment dawned, at last, 69 unbelievable days later, wow, the 33 men ascended the mine one by one with a common conviction. A 34th miner had been with them beneath the mountain of rock, the miner who holds the universe in the palm of his hands. The Chilean miners could truthfully, joyfully proclaim with the psalmist, "If I go up into heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there." Psalms 139:8. God's presence with us is a priceless gift. In Numbers 6, when God instructed the new priests how to bless the Israelites, he didn't tell them how to bless Israel with riches and success or even security. He knew that the greatest blessing his people could ever receive was the gift of his presence. Listen. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Verses 24 through 26. Stop for a moment and read that priestly blessing again, this time slowly. Do you feel that tugging? That gentle longing in your heart? Your heart belongs in the presence of your loving God. He stands ready to turn his face towards you and be gracious to you, and he longs to give you his peace. In the darkest night, God is our ever-present light. Yes, he is. So we're going to be reading from scripture. I have my King James Bible here, and all of our scripture comes from the book of Psalms. How fitting. Our first scripture is Psalms 31:20, and it says, "Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence from the pride of man. Thou shalt keep them secretly in a pavilion from the strife of tongues." Then we're going to go to Psalms 89 and verse 15. "Blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, in the light of thy countenance." I love that. Then we're going to go to Psalms 139 and verse 7. "Whither," and whither in this text meaning where, "whither shall I go from thy spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence?" Psalms 29 and verse 11. "The Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace." And then chapter 139, verses 11 through 12. It says, "If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. Wow. What an awesome, awesome story, testimony that these men have. And the 34th miner, they said, the 34th miner has been with them beneath the mountain of rock, the miner who holds the universe in his hands. We truly are never alone. I know that we go through things and it feels like we're going through it alone because we can't physically see him with us. But that is where we need to close our eyes, get into his presence, and feel him all around us. Oh, I just love that. I love that it says in his culture, the appearance of a white animal meant God was very near. And he had seen what looked like a white butterfly fluttering diagonally toward the cavern floor. How cool is that? It probably wasn't a butterfly, but the symbolic message of that, I do believe the Lord does send us signs and messages. I do believe that, and thank goodness he sent them that sign. But can you imagine being trapped? Let's see, how long were they trapped? Like when the miracle of the moment dawned, and the last 69 unbelievable days later, 69 days they were trapped in the darkness. They were hungry, thirsty, but they knew that 34th miner was with them. I just can't even imagine, y'all. I just can't. Oh my goodness. And I love the Psalms 139 and 8. If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. He is always with us. We can be assured of that. He is always with us. Right now, you may be going through something that is very hard, painful, trying, and you're having to just lean on him. But at the same time, that can get weary too, because I'm a very visual person. And so, of course, I like to see things. But sometimes we have to just have faith. We have to have faith. And, you know, our faith has to be our eyes. And I'm going to tell you something that I've done in the past. And it may sound so childish and juvenile, but when you're going through something and you've just stood all you can stand, I have literally leaned up against a wall or a door, and that be my act of faith that I am truly leaning on God. It may be that you have to do something like that, and who cares what anybody else thinks? Who cares what anybody else might say about that? When you are desperate and you are going through things, sometimes you have to just do those little acts of faith. And I encourage you, don't be ashamed. Don't let the devil rob you of that. If you need to lean, lean. If you need to kneel, kneel. Whatever you have to do, just don't stop and just don't give up. That's the main thing. Because whether we can see him or not, God is always with us. And sometimes we go through things that we can't even feel him. That's really tough. But we can be assured he is right there. And when it comes down to it, and at the right time, when we just don't feel like we can go anymore, he's going to show up and show us, hey, I've been here with you all the time. I've been watching you. I know everything that's going on, and I know what's coming. And I've got you. I had you then, I've got you now, and I'm going to have you then. We can depend on him. Your heart belongs in the presence of your loving God. He stands ready to turn his face toward you and to be gracious to you. He longs to give you his peace. He truly does. And sometimes we have to go through some things to really appreciate that peace that can only come from him. And once you get that, sometimes you will be in the middle of a storm. The weather, the winds, the rain just raging all about you. And there you are, just calm, because you are in the middle of his peace. He can do that. He's done that so many times for me. He still does that for me, because I do get anxious. I'm a very anxious person, especially when things are not going the way I think they should. They may be going exactly like he wants them to go, but it might not be how I think. And I get anxious, and then that's when he has to come in and flood me and give me that peace that I know what I'm doing. Just trust me. Just trust me and trust the process. Wow, such a great devotion. And I'm going to leave you with this. In the darkest night, God is our ever-present light. He truly is. And he does want to give us peace. So maybe just meditate on these scriptures. Maybe just be still. Just lean up against the door. Lean up against the wall. Whatever you have to do. Just know that he's got you and you are not alone. And he will give you that peace when you just think you can't go any further. He will show up and give you exactly what you need. Wow, I feel his presence so strong. I hope you feel it. I hope it's coming across. And I thank him. I thank him that we are never in this alone. We are never by ourselves, but he is always with us. Always with us. Whether we see him or feel him, he is always with us. And that we can count on. The world can fall apart around us, but he is always with us. I love you. I pray that you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.